Welcome to the DIPRO Project 2.0, Design, Production and Evaluation of a 2.0 Learning Environment for the Training of University Teachers on the Educational Use of ICT. This project is financed for the Government of Spain to the Minister of Training and Competitiveness. We work about 4 objectives. The first, develop a basic thematic consensus between different professionals of the IT. The second object, create a thematic learning environment under the architecture of Web 2.0, among the teacher training, college, and acquire different skills and competences for the use and integration of the ITC in their work. The third object, validate the thematic learning environment both in regard to the proposed structure, the constraints, and the tools. Finally, the fourth object consists create a virtual community of university teachers concerned about the educational use of ICT and the use of this. We create 3 records: a virtual community, a personal learning environment, and a repository of learning objects. The first, virtual community, we create name and personal learning environment with Equibus and model. Finally, the repository of learning objects we create with Joomla 2.5. This is the gate of the personal learning environment, and this is the gate of the repository of learning object. If you want to move between the first and second, you only need to click in the special place that you can see in the skip is marked in yellow. The difference between is only the gate. With the repository of learning object, all blocks, all units that you can find, we select about a panel of experts in AT and ICT. We use 14 units. The units about integrated ICT training methods until web conference and station tool, or virtual tutoring, or the use of ICT as tool for assessment of the students. And you see in the script, the gate of the purpose of learning object is similar in all the units. And the second, and the personal learning environment, we use 2 lines. You can see on the left of the script a list of the gate, and we gate. For the select of these records, we use a ranking to do with the C4LPT of the United Kingdom and the subjects of the expert on ICT and TE of Spain and Latin America. With the teacher use the gate and gate select of, for example, Blogger, Google Docs, MySpace, etc. We can try to unit a traditional view of e-learning and personal work. We try to unit what they say, the personal learning and learning frame. If you see the script, you can watch to the gate of model. On a teacher, you can use all the unit that selects of the list during 11 course. If you select a gate or a gate, you can use in the model include. With respect to the personal learning object, you can see the 3 thematic areas. The second block, for example, you can watch the tools, service and records for the training on the context of the higher education. All the blocks, all the units have the similar elements, have a guide of materials, list of AI activity, learning object, taxonomy and concept map. With respect, the key includes a declaration of competence to be a type, list of learning objects to work, and assessment of the useful of materials. You can see in the script the example to use this material. You can see the contents and the objects and the list to assessment. With this sample to concept map, we tried to near to the teacher the most bigger complete to the consent that the units. We use the taxonomy to activity and the Bloom's taxonomy for the digital age. In the script you can see the example of the use of the taxonomy for the Unit 1. The tasks include the objects that we try to get: click religion, difficulty, temporality, activity assessment, checks, and right. In the script you can see example of the yes unit. You see the name of the units, the model, the author, the objects that we tried to get, and description of the activity. You can see more level of the difficulty and the time that you need to obtain. In the script you can see the sample of the checklist and the aerobic that the activity. Of criteria to assessment of the activity until to understanding the business, dependent answer, contents, outcomes of response, etc. All the learning objects are videos, PDF documents, multimedia, postcards, course, etc. If you use this unit, you can assessment all the records with a list of checks. You can say to the teacher if it's good or it's not too bad. With respect to the virtual community, this is in the script, you can see the guide to introduce in the virtual community. At this moment is compound of 300 professors of Spain of Latin America. If you want to get more information of the personal learning, you click in the URL that you see in the script. If you want to give more information of the learning object, you click on the URL that you see on the script. And finally, if you want to introduce in the virtual community, only you need to DIPRO to 0.9.com. Thank you for all and best regards.